Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Diablo 3 and I am Kagekaze and we are playing the Witch Doctor. Going to go ahead and continue our journey now at the Cemetery of the Forsaken. And as we get started, I think I need to apologize because apparently I am a big fat liar face. You see, what I've come to find out here is, as I've told you guys, talking about the characters in this game and as I played, that the Barbarian was a returning hero of Diablo 2. Well, I could have been going on old information on that. This was what they stated in BlizzCon. However, it seems that by doing a little digging, a lot of people are sure that the Barbarian is not actually the returning Barbarian, so he is actually a different Barbarian altogether. So I have to apologize that I've been kind of feeding you out-of-date information. It was not my intent. Another thing I've also found out is we've been talking about the stutter regarding fraps and the slowdown. I do receive a little bit of slowdown even without fraps on, so it hasn't just been a fraps thing, but it's been worse with fraps, obviously. Double check the known issues thread on the Diablo 3 website in their forums, and it does turn out that they are aware of the game trying to load assets that it's already loaded, so it's recaching when it really shouldn't need to be. This is a beta-only issue, I believe. Someone stated that they heard this should be fixed by the final release of the game. I'm fairly confident that it will be. Honestly, even when I saw it and I didn't know it was a known issue per se, I had a feeling that it was going to be something that just required a little bit of coding optimization. As you can see here, I've kind of slightly switched up my build. I've gotten rid of my zombie dogs. I'm going for slightly more efficient builds since the dogs don't do a lot of damage by themselves. Slightly returning to the dot build I was using before, and I probably will go back to the dogs eventually. But what I'm doing in this case is I'm going to use my groping eels combined with my new leaping spiders.
Not ready yet.
Simply because I like the AoE that I'm given with the groping eels. Lots of group damage. The dogs keep me safe, but since I don't take a lot of damage, I don't really feel the need for them right now. So as of today, I have a lot of comments that came through on a lot of my videos, somewhere around 15 or so. You know, for me, that's a lot. What can I say? But I need to go through those. I haven't responded to any of them yet since I was at work, but I will be sure to get through them and try to answer any questions, comments, or concerns. I do like it when you guys give me questions though, to try and resolve. If you haven't watched the co-op series, you might want to take a look at that. Someone did ask a couple questions when playing co-op, such as can you revive during boss fights, which I proved that we could. Jar of Souls, this will be fun. And I also looked into can you try to reload a checkpoint and then use the banner to come back during an event. So if you're ever curious about anything in the beta, leave a comment and I'll see if I can't get the question answered for you.
Spirits grant me blessings. Most of these tortured spirits are free. I am newly done. I do not have enough mana. Needs more time.
Well, that was fun, actually. Started to run a little bit low on mana, but as you see, all I have to do is not cast for a couple seconds, and I get it back. I actually participated in a slight discussion regarding Wizard's arcane power regeneration compared to Witch Doctor's mana regeneration. Needless to say, Witch Doctor has much more regeneration than the Wizard. again, kind of returning to that, you're going to have a lot of mana. You're going to be able to spam a lot. But if you spam too much, obviously, you will start to lose your mana. And all you have to do is just cast a cheaper spell. None of my spells are free, but with Poison Dart being 24 mana cost, and we look at my regen, I'm getting about 26. I believe that's with some gear. Yep, on my mojo. You know, so 24 cost, 25 regen. Technically, you would think that's free, but obviously, I attack more than once a second. Well, actually, not right now, but if that were the case, I'd start losing it. But that's pretty much a free spell, so you have options. Okay, so what we're going to do is look at the new skills I picked up here. Looks like I also picked up a new rune. Go into Terror here, the new category I've opened up, and it looks like we have Horrify now. Don a Spectral Mask horrifies all enemies within 12 yards, causing them to run in fear for 4 seconds. So this obviously has not changed in regards to what it does. Let me make sure that it didn't get changed in terms of power, though. My patch notes say no. Corpse Spider, Spider-Bone, Grasp of the Dead, Haunt, Hex. Nope. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this new skill slot. And again, forgive me if this isn't something you want to have happen. Again, leave comments if you don't like the way we want to do this. I'll go back. I'm going to go ahead and get my zombie dogs back. So I don't want the Terror. I don't want Horrify. I want my zombie dogs. I'm going to go ahead and use them. And it looks like I have Haunt now. So I got 2 new abilities this rank. You have to forgive me. I didn't actually look at the part that flashed up here, so I didn't know right away. So that's nice. I have to decide now, because do I want to keep the dogs or do I want to go into Haunt? I find it interesting that they make Haunt a primary. Of course, I can kind of see why. Again, just talking about mana regen, Poison Dart's 24 mana. I get 25 a second. If I cast under a second, that's a gain for me. So almost as good as using a signature spell as a wizard. In this case, obviously, 15 mana is super cheap. I will always be getting mana back. But, of course, Haunt is not a direct damage spell. It only does damage over time, and it's not an ability you want to spam. This is really not an ability I would choose for a primary skill. And I think this is hopefully something they'll look at and maybe change with this skill system. Why would you want Haunt as a primary? I would honestly make that maybe a secondary, or maybe put it on one of these other ones like Decay or something. I really don't know where I would put it exactly. Maybe even Terror. There's only 3 items in there. I'm sure they could pick a slot for it. It just doesn't feel right as a primary. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to go ahead and get rid of the Leaping Spiders for now, and we're going to return back to the AoE build, or to the dot build I was using before. So let's take Corpse Spiders, go back to primary, and select Haunt. Now, we will go over Haunt really quick because there has been some changes to Haunt. The duration no longer scales per level, as you may have noticed. Haunt now does 350 weapon damage as Arcane over 15 seconds. In the last patch, it was over 4 seconds, actually, I believe, and then it went up to 5 as I leveled. No longer goes up. It will now be the flat 15 the entire time. The damage will also no longer go up. 350% weapon damage is the final weapon damage, which means it has been nerfed by roughly 30%. The old maximum level Haunt at 500% weapon damage did 33 weapon damage per second. 33% weapon damage per second. It now does 23% weapon damage per second. So a slight nerf, but again, we talked about this in the last videos. That Haunt is one of those skills that's mainly provided as a bonus. You have an ability like Poison Dart that's expected to be your primary damage dealer, and secondaries like Grasp of the Dead and Haunt to do supplemental damage. Again, that at least appears to be the design intent behind it. But yet they give you Haunt as a primary ability, so I'm really not sure what the thought is on that, and maybe we're just not seeing the final order of things, although the skill calculators have been updated on the Diablo 3 site if you haven't seen it. I would highly recommend checking it out. The skill calculator can be something, it's kind of fun to play with, actually. And actually, the UI on the web page for the skill calculator, I think would be great if they could implement it into the game itself. Because when you choose a slot, you get to choose an ability, and then you get to choose a rune, all through slide-out menus. It's a great system, I think, that could really work for the game if they could manage to code it in. So take a look at the skill calculator. Again, that's on Diablo 3's main Diablo 3 site. All you have to do is click on the game guides at the top and then pick your class. And you can get to your skill calculator from there. So we'll have to see. I honestly consider Haunt a supplemental damage. I just couldn't see myself spamming this as a primary. As you can see, you can only have Haunt on one enemy at a time. And it's dealing decent damage there, but what I should test is if I can have more than one on one enemy. Before it gave you that stipulation that you couldn't. Let me look here. See, it doesn't say you can only have one Haunt on at a time now. Let's... 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm only seeing one. No, definitely that 15 seconds is really nice to see. As you can see, it's jumping from monster to monster to monster. Let's try to do kind of a slightly different one. I'm just going to put 2 out there. Two of them still out there doing damage. That is really nice for how long it lasts, even at this low level. I want to do something here. I'm going to dismiss my zombie dogs, and I want to take a look at this here. Let's see if I can't. Let's see if we can't figure out if more than one Haunt can be on one enemy. So if I put 1 on him, yeah, it looks like it's ticking faster. There, the second one went away. Okay, I think I can understand why they would make this a primary now. Because that looks like you can indeed have more than one Haunt on an enemy now. That is an interesting change. That means the nerf makes more sense now. Because it looked like the amount of damage that was being done per second on a mob that I put multiple spirits on was going up. So we take a standard skeleton here with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 second. Alright. Let me find something big to spam it on. See if I can get this really big numbers here. It's hard to tell, to be honest with you. I thought I saw the numbers going faster, but honestly, I'm just not sure. I think someone with a bit more time or resources than I might have to look into that. My dog's back. Where my dog's at? Okay, I'm pretty sure this is a false crypt. I'm gonna say false tomb. I'm thinking Tal Rasha again.
The crown is not here. I will seek it in another crypt.
Yeah, I think I may have finally found myself a decent weapon here. Yes, 8.4 and mana regeneration on it. Very good. See my dogs over there just kind of beating up on that poor creature and not able to kill it right away. But I still love them. I look forward to enhancing their abilities. You know, you look at Haunt, and it doesn't look like it does a lot of damage, you know, but it does do it over time. It does last a long time as well, so it jumps from target to target. But the big thing you have to think about is the cost. I mean, it is super cheap. You're getting mana back every time you cast it. Let's see in a second. So maybe at most twice a second, which would put it just under your regen, but honestly that's pretty close to being right there once a second. I like having 4 skill slots a lot earlier. As you can see, having zombie dogs and my old AoE build at the same time. I never quite got to level 13 with my Witch Doctor in the last playthrough I did. So, Witch Hunter Goss did not hit 13, did not hit level cap. So I never got to see what all the other abilities did. Fortunately, that means I won't be able to see how Spirit Walk works, because they did remove that as an ability I could learn in the beta. It's learned at a later level now. But consequently, I also don't believe I had the 4 slots. I believe I hit level 10 before we ended the beta on that playthrough, so having 4 slots now feels good. I can maintain my AoE dot build, have some pets. Just a lot more variety. I am a little tempted to try Haunt as a primary and give that my corpse spiders here. So I could... Let's see, let's use directed mode a little bit. Only a little bit, because I'm not going to take Horrify. I'm going to take Haunt as my primary, so I have to take it off my secondary. We'll put corpse spiders with leaping on. Put Haunt as my primary. And I'll just leave zombie dogs as that went in, groping, or grass with the dead, groping eels. There we go. Let me give that a shot. Ooh, an adventuring Mongadal. That's experience in my pocket. Right there. 1 less damage. 2 more experience per kill. So I'm going to hold on to that for now, so we can hopefully speed up the leveling process even further. Looks like I can use my shoulders now as well, being level 9. So I get Vitality, Magical Find, and plus 3 more experience. So there we go. Go ahead and put that on. There it is. Now let's just see what I'm getting per kill here. I'm getting 32 extra experience per kill now. That's a decent amount of experience. Kind of like all these things I can have out at once. I've got spiders, I've got dogs, I've got eels, I've got a spirit. There's so many things a witch doctor can do. I'm actually a little daunted by its skill calculator. I looked and tried to make some builds with the Witch Doctor, and I really have no idea where I would go with it. I have an idea where I would go with, say, a Demon Hunter. But I think once I play the Witch Doctor in the full game, I'll have a better idea of what skills I like and what I want to do with them. It was kind of the case with the beta. I really wasn't sure what I was going to do with this character at first.
The spirits grant me blessings.
I am level 10 already. Alright, let's see what we got. We've got Jungle Fortitude, reduces all damage taken by me and my pets by 20%. And Vermin, Plague of Toads, Corpse Spiders, Locust Swarm, and Fire Bats do 20% more damage. Very nice. Let me see, any passive skills changed in regards to this? No. No. Okay. Well, I do use Corpse Spiders. I don't use Plague of Toads. I can't get Locust, and I will eventually get Fire Bats, which I'm pretty sure I will use. Let's go ahead and use Vermin, let my spiders do some more damage. I am liking how they jump to these targets very quickly. Some imps to kill. Really need to get used to putting Haunt out first. With poison darts, I usually do that last because I need to get everything else up first. And with Haunt, it's usually the first thing you want up because then it'll start jumping around.
The bones beneath this tomb scream of madness and betrayal. The crown is near.
So I'm throwing my own jars at jars to break jars. Yeah, it doesn't look like his health is going down any faster the more haunts I put on him. His health goes down pretty quick when I start spamming certain skills at him. I'm using all of my skills all at once. These haunts will break barrels and the like. Just takes a brief moment before it does. And an experience shrine. This is my lucky day. Magic find, huh? Alright. Drop some of these items.
No, I will not allow you to bring that monster Leoric back to this world.
Needs more time.
Okay, let's just grab one or two items to get out of here.
You found it? Ah. It's good to work again. There. New as the day it was placed upon the Black King's head. I need something more than making spades to occupy my mind. I want my life to mean something.
We all seek meaning in grief. Maybe? The crown is in my keeping. Direct me.
At last.
The Skeleton King's sickness infects this land.
Found some interesting things on my latest dig. You should take a look. I've got some brand new goods you might be interested in.
Now back to the cathedral. We're already about a quarter into the level. Looking forward to seeing what level I can get to before I get to the Skeleton King. Obviously I hit level 11 fairly early, so all this experience gear has made a big impact. Oh no, it's gray. But the only thing I really need white items for is a bit more gold. I have not opened up my second tab on my stash yet. Something I do want to do eventually, even though there's not enough items really in the beta right now to warrant me keeping a lot of them. What my original intention was going to be is I was going to record to see whether or not if I purchased a tab, if it gave me all the slots of the next tab, because I wasn't sure. I hadn't recalled seeing it. Of course, ThinkFlight answered that question for me because he had a bit more gold than I at the time. He opened up his tab, and apparently it's going to be a big gold sink. You open up a new tab, and you have to unlock all the slots again before you can open up the next tab. I still want to open it. Yet again, I have more experience, so I'm going to kind of brush past barrels and the like. Try and get as much experience as possible. Experience shrines combined with experience gear. These are good times, my friends. Good times. "13 in one blow." You know, I still haven't gotten the mighty blow since they reset the achievements, which has killed 20 monsters in one hit. I tried doing it with the Demon Hunter, but without Elemental Arrow, I just couldn't do it. I tried doing Bola Shot with the rune to make the explosion be bigger. Just could not get enough enemies in one big group, and that was even on the Jar of Souls event. I specifically tried to do it on that because I know that's my best chance to getting it. I think that right there, what I had a moment ago, is the closest I've gotten. I have a feeling it'll end up happening on my wizard with Arcane Orb, since that hits so hard with a decent area of effect. Plus there's a rune to make it have a larger effect. Oh, my shrine just ran out. Over halfway through the level, though.